In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you why you're not inherently bad in communicating and how just changing this tiny habit in your communication can improve it drastically. I'm going to be using this simple diagram which I have borrowed from one of the neuroscience concepts. In this diagram, which is very simple, we have two lines. I have a thought clarity line, which is at the top, and a spoken expression line. These lines are interesting because whatever happens above this top line, happening everything in your brain. Thought clarity lines means that your thoughts are already ready in the brain. You know what to say. You have everything you need, but it is internal. It is inside your brain. This is your brain at the top. Now, please don't ask me why the brain looks like a mushroom, but just for the sake of this video, think of this diagram is our brain. Now, the problem here is, as everything is inside your brain, you haven't said anything yet. And when you start to express yourself in an actual conversations, what I mean by that is when you start to speak in a group conversation or a one-on-one conversation, there has this massive gap. Now, it may look like a slight time delay, but the importance of this gap is even more. It has more impact on your communication than you ever imagine. Now, on this second whiteboard, I have this hesitation loop, which I'm going to use to tell you why this gap is even more dangerous than you think. Imagine if you have a thought inside your head that you want to express. For this example, I'll give you an example of I am applying for a job and I'm giving an interview. Interviewer asks me, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? I have everything ready inside my head. I have all the great answers, I have all the great inputs, but in my head. Now, before answering that question, I am hesitating. This hesitation is inviting silence. So I do not say anything for next 20 seconds. The interviewer is looking awkwardly to me, waiting for my answer. And I'm just hesitating, silencing. That thing is going on in my head. Now, if, let's say you are an interviewer and if you ask somebody, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And if they don't respond for 20 seconds, do you think you will still give them a job? Probably not. Which is what? It will miss the opportunity for me to work in that company. And this is not only applicable at the interview, it can happen anywhere. It could happen in a meeting at your work. It could happen in a class when a professor asks you a question. And if you miss the opportunity, it invites even bigger enemy, self-doubt. And this is the biggest problem that comes from your hesitation. And once you have that seed of self-doubt, it will reflect in everything you do. No matter it's just communication, it would be reflected in every action. So if you have a self-doubt, next time you have the thought, cycle repeats. Thought goes to hesitation, goes to silence, goes to missed opportunity, and even bigger self-doubt and even bigger hesitation. Now the question is, how do we eliminate that? The answer is simple. Eliminate the hesitation from here. That will cause silence to disappear. That will cause the missed opportunity to disappear. And once you get the opportunity, the self-doubt will automatically be eliminated and this whole hesitation loop is gone. Now, once we understand the hesitation loop and how it works, let's look at the solution to this problem. And as simple as it may look, you just have to reduce this gap between thought clarity and spoken expression. Yes, it is as simple as it sounds. And there are many ways to reduce this gap. First and the foremost is, and my favorite is, start speaking at 60%. When I say 60%, a lot of people hesitate, a lot of people delay the responses because they want to give the perfect answer right from the beginning. It's not at all necessary. You start to lose the opportunity by just delaying the response and not by giving 100% correct answer in the first moment. So even if the answer is at 60% in your head, start speaking as soon as possible. Now, second is priming. When I say priming, you can actually be honest with your audience and tell them, or honest with the person asking you the question and tell them that you just need a few minutes or few moments. I think minutes will be too long. Just few moments to gather your thought. You can literally take the pen and paper and start to write and structure your thoughts together. This can be applicable in an interview. In one of my previous interviews, one of the interviewer asked me, what is my plan for next 10 years? I told them, give me a few moments to gather my thoughts together. I took a pen and paper and started to write things. that gave them the idea that yes, I am putting a lot of efforts and maximum thought to answer that question. So priming is very crucial. Now the next one is body language, which is one of the crucial things I believe. If your body language is that you are hesitant, you are doubting yourself, even if the answer is great, that will reduce your credibility. So make sure your body language is loose, calm, you're using your gestures, you're using the postures, and be the confident version of yourself. Now lastly, you can also exit the conversation if the gap is too long. If somebody asks you a question and if your answer is not ready, you can say that, yes, that's an interesting point. Maybe I'll answer after John. Or you can say, that's an interesting point. Let everyone else in the room answer and then I will give my take on it. Now, even if you have exited the conversation, you may not come off as a hesitant person because you have said what you have been asked to do. So in this video, we covered what is thought clarity, what is spoken expression, and how this gap in between is causing you to lose the opportunities. If you like my video, make sure you share it with your friends and family, and I'm pretty sure that they will get a lot of benefit from this video and understanding this concept of hesitation loop. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.